It's acres and move makers. It's
acres and move makers.
I deal with land flippers, acres and move makers, room shakers, big boys with huge paper, the newspapers. You can run but can't escape us. We winning with these flash green when they act racist. Success is so contagious. Let's go.
It's acres and move makers.
Welcome to Acres and Move Makers. My name is Ray.
My name is Jay.
And we are
Acre Boys.
Today we want to talk to you about the topic, how to determine what markets are best to invest in.
Now, this is one of my favorite topics to discuss, right? Because how else are you going to know where exactly to put your offers out when it comes to doing what we do? And that's as far as buying properties significantly under market value, right? So there are a lot of different things, and what I'm going to say to everybody, anybody who understands business or anything like that, the data is king. We repeat, data is king. And why is data king? Data is king because you can actually go ahead and pinpoint what markets are hot and what markets are not. So specifically, what do we mean by that, right? So once we use, I'll give you a free resource that you can go ahead and use right now. That resource is called Zillow. So let's just say you were looking at a certain county because you wanted to actually target that county and purchase some land inside of that place. You can actually go on Zillow, put your search criteria to land. You can actually put in the acreage range, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 4 acres. And basically what you can do is look on there and see how many properties are for sale versus how many properties have been sold. Now, if there's more properties for sale that has been sold, that's going to be an indicator to us that that market is not a viable market for us at that point in time. Now, if there are properties that are more sold, that have sold more than for sale, then we know that properties are moving fast off of that market, right? There's another term that I want you to pay specific attention to, and that term is called days on market. Very, very key when it comes to indicating what place you actually want to go to. Because let's just say if the days on market in a certain county are 30 days on market, 40 days on market, that means on average, that's around the time that it would take for you to sell your property on average, right? So days on market are extremely important when it comes to that, right? We're looking at places where we're going to we think we're going to have the most success. When we're going after rural markets, we're talking about, 40 people per square mile, 50 people per square mile, whatever the case may be. And there are some places that we use that are based off of the census that are going to show us how many people live per square mile. When you're talking about being in a densely populated city, what's going to happen is going to be a lot more people per square mile. But in the rural markets, there are going to be less people per square mile. So that's what you first need to determine when it comes to your data. What exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for places where you're looking to purchase infill lots, which are places that are lots that are inside of an urban community? Or do you want to go outside into the rural communities and get bigger acreage, whatever the case may be? But that is how you're going to pinpoint, based off of data, where exactly are the best markets for you to actually invest in.
Yeah, 100% accurate. Knowing what your game plan is and what your end goal is will help you navigate. Let's say hypothetically, you're a new person. You want to get into some land investing. You have no idea where to begin at. That is an excellent starting point. Just pull up Zillow. It's a free resource. Just pull it up. It's probably the most common to common people. You've probably heard of Zillow before. So we're assuming that you heard of Zillow before. If not, it's ZILLOW.com. Go to Zillow, pull up the map, and red is going to be what's for sale, and yellow is going to be things that have sold. There's a button on there you can toggle between for sale and sold. And as Jay stated, you can just start to, matter of fact, put your filter on to just land. If it's just land that you want to see, or if you want to see land and houses at the same time, you can put houses and you can put land, and you'll see what's going on in any particular state at that time. It lets you time stamp it as far as backdate the sales a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. and you can get an idea of what has happened in that area. For sale will let you know what is happening, what's going on currently in that market, things that's for sale. And you can get an idea of what it is you want to do. For in our case, we like rural markets. You know, it's usually recreational land has is sold really well for us. We've done a lot of different type of properties, but recreational land has sold really well for us. So in our case, we would look for larger acreage, and that's the other thing, as Jay stated. Put in Zillow the size land that you're looking for, right? The other thing is, what's your budget? Know your budget. That'll help you determine what's a hot market or not. How are you going to pay for your land? Is that coming out of your pocket? What does your budget look like? Are you going to get what we call deal funding, where you need somebody else to put the money up? If you need somebody else to put the money up, then look in a budget that will fit an investor's criteria.
For sure.
Investors typically like to at least double their money, And that depends on the deal as well. That's a loaded question, because if a deal is, I'm just shooting numbers out. If a deal was $300,000 that they can get off it, and if you was getting a $300,000 deal, let's say you was getting it for $210,000. That's not a double, but it is still $90,000 on the table. An investor may say, hey, look, I'll put out $200,000 to make a quick $50,000, depending on the days on the market, depending on how long I have to wait to get my money back. All of these things come into play. So know what your strategy is, know what your budget is, know what if you're going to pay out of pocket, or if you're going to be leaning on somebody else's pocket to pay for it, and that'll help you to determine. If you don't have the money, stay away from infill lots. I won't say infill lots, because there's some infill lots in certain areas that just as expensive as larger lots. Stay away from inexpensive lots that investors wouldn't want to put their money behind. That's the correct thing to say. Definitely do that. And that's it. It's a lot of hot markets out there. There's a ton of them. So just study the data. We use migration maps, knowing where people are going. Remember, land follows houses. You can check the housing market.
Right.
Land will follow what the housing market does. If the housing market goes up, the land prices typically go up. So that's really my spell on it. To be 100% accurate, there's no specific land data besides comps that tells us what exactly is going on as far as days on market for land. We follow what days on market of what houses is doing, but there are specific comps for land.
Sure, definitely. And one thing to pay attention to, it's a larger conversation in this, but I just wanted to throw it in just to give you an extra little nugget. Sometimes when you're looking at, when I told you about the days on market earlier, when you're looking at markets that are moving really, really fast, when it comes to putting offers out and placing them at a low denomination and trying to get that property, typically the lower the days on market, the people know what they have inside of those markets. So typically you're not going to get it for that price. So what we have normally done in that capacity, if it's moving really, really fast, we'll go ahead and bump our offer price up just enough for them to go ahead and engage back with us and potentially go ahead and get a land deal.
So like,
comment,
subscribe,
all
to
of that
the page. If you find it to be useful, if you find the content to be valuable, definitely share, spread the word. Acre Boys, we're looking to grow this channel. I'm looking to get these subscribers up by the end of the year.
That's right.
So we'll be giving as much free value and free game, free content as possible. Other day, somebody said to me, well, why do y'all tell the secrets to how you make money?
Okay.
It doesn't affect anything that we do. Like, you know, if somebody can use this, great. It doesn't affect anything that we do.
And on top of that, most of you probably don't realize how much vacant land that there is out there. We're not butting heads. There's literally enough to go around for everyone. This is an abundant place, and it's a ground floor opportunity for those that want to get involved. So I would say, yeah, it doesn't bother us whatsoever. Our mentors that brought us into space, they've been going for 40 years, and there's never been any headbutting, any crashing or anything like that. It's abundant, no restrictive mentality over here, just abundant mindset. That's all.
All right, so you know the motto: invest in dirt.
Cleanest way to make money.
Out.